any this time around. I think that we've seen a lot of patterns in the pick and bans be pretty, prevalent as far as there's always been the same bot lane for TSM, that they're going back to the Nidalee over and over. Do people make adjustments? And already we have C9 with an adjustment from their blue side in game 1, taking Zilean off the table. Ryze has been a go-to each time as well.
Yep. Yeah. Ryze banned away from C9 every single time. Kindred, yeah, the exact same situation there. But the Zilean ban, I think it makes sense because now that C9's back on blue side, they can predict how a lot of the champ select would go. They might go for the early Viktor once again.
Yeah.
And they said, well, the Zilean is actually a really good pick into it, so let's remove that option and see what else you have for that lineup, Bjergsen, here. Now, you might see the Azir ban as a third one because of that.
Really interesting how much focus TSM puts on C9 Meteos. They talked about it in the videos. Bjergsen talking about how annoying it is playing against Meteos. He's pulled 2 bans for his team every single game. Olaf is not something that we've really seen banned very often.
Oh, interesting.
And Vladimir are going to be banned away by C9. I was not expecting that. I would have expected
really
it as a red side ban, threaten the first pick.
Yep.
But they obviously do not want to play it whatsoever, so they have to take it off the table.
Yeah, that is strange. It was TSM's 3rd ban in game 1, and it was Cloud9's 2nd ban over in game 2. So interesting to see that C9 has made that choice, and now TSM almost gets a free ban back, you might consider.
Triple mid lane ban here from C9 onto Bjergsen. That guy's always pulling so much focus, and same bans from the last couple of games, really, from TSM. And it's looking like it'll be the same first pick that C9 had last time around on the blue side. And you expect Rek'Sai going over C9 will likely mean TSM is going to take their Nidalee.
Right. It's so interesting because they theoretically had the option of banning Rek'Sai, taking Vladimir, vice versa, etc. But not the case here. And they will lock in the Rek'Sai once again, so Cloud9 completely unwilling to let Svenskeren get the champion, and they will give it yet again to Meteos.
Meteos did pretty well for himself in the first game on Rek'Sai. He kept up in farm, even ahead in farm for quite a bit of time, but Svenskeren was getting more done around the map. A lot of that obviously to do with the advantages that the TSM laners carved out for themselves early on too. But going back to the Rek'Sai, a very strong champion, has a lot of utility. You can gain vision not only with a Tremor Sense, but builds easily into an early Sightstone. He's tanky, he has utility, he has early game threat, good map movement. It's just a strong overall champion that Meteos is obviously very comfortable on.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's been seen in over 80% of North American LCS games, and despite that, only a 50-50 win rate there. So some users haven't found quite the same success with it, but TSM making an adaptation themselves. Now Gragas coming through for Svenskeren in the jungle. They still do get that Azir, as C9 had put in that Vladimir ban and let Azir come up, and TSM gets it.
This is something we kind of heard the players talking about before the game. I'm not sure if they were really joking, but they were talking about Jensen getting counterpicked by the Viktor last time, just in the little video going into the break. So if they actually do think that is counter matchup, Jensen has the chance to pick Viktor and kind of turn the tables here on Bjergsen.
Yeah, we'll see. Right now, though, Viktor has lost all of their games so far in the series. 0-2 the champion is.
Bit unlucky for Viktor.
A bit unlucky, absolutely. Certainly a strong champion. Usually popular for a reason. Cloud9 tends to go in their pickups. Both turns have been grabbed. Mid laners are freely available. And we'll see. They will, in fact, go for the Viktor. So C9 actually hiding a lot of their champions here, as Bard is going to be the other lock-in. So triple Bard and massive support swaps back and forth. They're saving top lane and AD carry for last.
So Bard once again here. Bunny Fufuu has done very well on it. Smoothie, an incredible performance last game on the champion. Holding that AD carry till later in the draft does give a little bit of flexibility. We've seen the Jhin, we've seen the Ashe, two of these kind of more CC-oriented, supportive type AD carries, while TSM has continuously just gone back to Lucian time and time again. They want to play aggressive. DoubleLift wants to carry. He wants to be able to dash around, get aggressive, and try to outplay his opponents.
He's certainly tried to, and he's had some really good moments. He's nearly smashed his lane a couple of times there. There's been some very, very close fights in the 2-on-2 against Sneaky, whatever his support ends up being. And actually the Karma that was banned away in game 1 will be, looks like, picked up here for Biofrost. The TSM going with a much more aggressive lane down here, actually. And that will be the grab here, Karma Lucian.
I think this is a nice adjustment. You put the tank into the jungle. You don't necessarily need Braum. You don't necessarily need the tanky support. Put more priority on your 2v2 lane. If you're picking Lucian, why not pair him with an incredibly powerful laning support such as Karma? Enable DoubleLift to go for that playstyle. Enable him to get aggressive. Try to carve out that advantage for himself. Also works very well with the Gragas, allowing him to get in a lot easier onto the opponents with the Mantra speed-ups. You can get in there, hopefully, land those body slams, knock in your opponents.
Yeah, but definitely a lot of good tank tools now. Look at TSM's backline. Azir, one of the very, very best. Lucian, not too shabby. And you've got a Gragas and a Karma to help make sure you guys stay alive the whole time. So definitely a lot of backline threat that TSM has right now. C9 have to run with their lineup right now.
Will it be the Trundle again here for C9? They have that available. I'm expecting it from Impact. Worked out well in the last game, and it's looking like Trundle Ashed as the AD carry and top laner. That is going to be locked in for C9. So it's Jhin, last second swap there once again. So pretty confident move here. Will they really want to match up against the Karma Lucian? I think C9 may have to be the ones to dodge the lane this time.
Does not seem like the easiest of lanes, to be honest. Karma definitely quite the bully here. And TSM not get to see that the Trundle has been locked in and now get to pick their own top lane matchup. Hauntzer seems to be smiling, seems to be happy, so whether he thinks he can outplay Impact by playing Aurelia yet again, or wants to play something entirely different, Gnar I think would actually be a pretty good matchup as far as top lane, as it should be good in the Trundle.
I think Gnar is definitely solid. That matchup comes down a lot to, can you actually outplay the Gnar jump? You have to pillar to interrupt the jump, otherwise you will get kited out, worn down. But if as Trundle you can do that, you really can run down Gnar and just kind of outstat him. So that is a possibility. At the same time, Swain is something that can match up pretty well, but this will very heavily index them to AP. I'm not sure if he's going to want to go for this. You have AP from 40 or 5 rolls. Does make it pretty easy to itemize. That is going to be the lock in here, though, and a lot of pressure will be put on DoubleLift because he is the only physical damage from the team. He needs to come up big for his team. If DoubleLift gets behind, I think it's going to be very problematic for TSM against multiple people who can build very tanky. Meteos, Impact can build Spirit Visage very easily. You add Lockets on top of that, you add additional MR, and all of a sudden, you can never kill the front line.
That's definitely true, though I don't think we typically see DoubleLift get behind early on. His laning phase should be good. The 2-on-2 matchup is pretty solid. Svenskeren has so far been a pretty solid early game jungler as well, so you don't expect Double to get behind, but if it happens, absolutely, there is some real risk that you can't kill the tanks anymore. So now with 2 very big frontliners in the Trundle and the Rek'Sai. So Swain into Trundle is the new matchup picked up here. Last time around, he was willing to play Aurelia into it. This time around, changing that up quite a bit here. And look at the champion coming through for Hauntzer. So the climactic game 3 now, TSM and Cloud9 doing battle. TSM can hold on to that 5-0 match record, but if C9 wins it, they say, you're down here with me, we're tied for second together here at 4-1. Envy momentarily is the best team in North America if that happens here. But you guys, it's time to break this tie. At home, vote us in, let us know who it's going to be. Hashtag C9 win, hashtag TSM win, for which team is going to be the victorious one here in the 3rd game of this match. Hauntzer on a Swain pick for him, up against Impact's Trundle. Bunny back in and support playing Bard. And Biofrost on a Karma that was banned away from him in game 1, hoping to win the 2-on-2 if it happens. We are here in a game 3, TSM versus C9. Who's it going to be?
A lot of this game could really come down to what lane matchups do the teams get, what does happen in the early game, because a matchup like the Trundle versus the Swain can be great for Swain as long as he's given time to kind of hang out, start scaling up. But if you get ganked early, if you get behind, you can actually just get run down. They can just start not caring about your damage whatsoever. Swain is not a good tank killer and can struggle if ganked early and often. Rek'Sai something that can help to enable that. Swain is very susceptible, and it's going to be one of those things, where do the junglers choose to go? Where do they allocate their resources? So much of the game will depend on that, because we've talked about, not only is Swain easy to gank, but if you can somehow put a lot of pressure on DoubleLift, get him behind, this team could struggle with a very heavy magic damage lineup.
Definitely agree. We're seeing Deathfire Touch be the keystone of choice for Hauntzer. Pretty typical, but you could theoretically see him going Strength of Ages to be a bit tankier on that champion. We don't really see it, but just as far as options are concerned, otherwise everything looks very, very standard. All support Karmas are going Wind Speakers. They actually usually max shield by around level 10 as well. So if you're ever wanting to play support Karma like the pros, usually 2 points in Q, then switch over to maxing E.
I think that a couple early points is definitely fantastic. Sometimes you can go more than 2. I feel if you're really kind of snowballing a lane, you can start to get a little bit more aggressive, you know, picking up early AP, things like that. But we are going to have C9 moving into the jungle, trying to deny this double jungle as much as they possibly can, and we'll see, you know, what can Buddy Fufuu get done.
Oh, he hits the wrong one. Can't steal any of the small raptors, and look at that, Svenskeren gonna go ahead and grab all of those, and now getting auto-attacked, losing a fair bit of health, but it gets a smite, gets away, and he's gonna stay alive. Bunny, if he had stolen any one of those, would have prevented level 2 away from Gragas and had the chance to, sadly could not. Impact and Biofrost in a bit of a battle down here as the Raptors taken away, and well, Cena got to take 2 greedy camps out, and TSM only got to take 1.
Higher on health, get the red buff. Nice little advantage there for C9, but all in all, probably not going to make much of a difference as both teams are sending, you know, 3 men to start working away on this turret. The junglers will likely meet up there pretty quickly too. Jensen and Bjergsen toe-to-toe here in the mid lane, and all things looking pretty darn equal.
Yeah, definitely the case. Yeah, lane swap, which again we think is a slightly better situation for the Cloud9 duo. DoubleLift and Biofrost is going to hit the standard farm they would normally. Both supports getting plenty of gold from the spell thieves and whatnot. And Hauntzer, will he take the cannon? No. DoubleLift gets it, of course. Losing plenty of health. But the way you play this, you basically never want to auto-attack minions. You want to only use spells in them. Get your auto-attacks onto the turrets themselves. It'll be a very, very fast turret take from the TSM squad, actually. And they'll kill it on this wave, so a 317 turret kill. The freeze should still be there for Hauntzer. He'll be fine. And looking over at C9, they will get it basically on the next wave.
Yeah, 1 wave behind, and this is going to net TSM the opportunity to try to go for this dragon. And I think
like
that,
this.
yeah, it's really smart. Water Dragon is so powerful early in the game. I think that it's the best early game dragon to get by far. And it's going to be a nice advantage for them. They're getting very low.
Biofrost can take it. If they don't leash it again, it shouldn't reset anymore and heal back up. And they'll be just okay. The smite is up for Svenskeren. So, 1 last auto attack. And he actually will save the smite. Just wants to make sure he has that for the rest of his jungle clear. They're going to recall anyway. But yes, Ocean Drake picked up TSM again with the best early game Drake buff. And they will lose some tempo. You're seeing that C9 have their AD carrying support into the lane well before DoubleLift and Biofrost will. And even though it will probably cost them 100 gold or something, I think that's still worth more than enough for TSM here.
I think it's fantastic for TSM, and especially on a champion like your Swain, who is really reliant, you know, on that regen, likes to be very mana hungry, and can help him out a lot in this matchup. So we'll have to see how it's all going to pan out. You know, DoubleLift did get behind on farm, obviously because of this, because of the faster back, but is going to have the wave pushing towards him, and should be able to close the gap pretty easily.
There's also an advantage for Jensen currently in the mid lane. Because of the Rek'Sai jungle route, he was actually able to donate the blue buff over to Jensen early on. We saw him clearing with basically infinite mana. Bjergsen went for the early recall to get a second Doran's ring and the dagger here, so just trying to kind of match up in that sort of regard. Jensen should have priority in his lane for a little bit.
He's going to back himself now, and likely going to be able to upgrade up for that E, where you can get the double proc. Allows you to one-shot those ranged minions, and definitely very nice. Impact here, kind of pushing up pretty far. You can see Meteos was hanging out around that side on the top lane, but has now backed off, and if they do catch wind of this, Svenskeren could definitely look to try to chase down this Trundle.
Well, TSM should know that the dual lane is conspicuously missing right now, and it's because they're right down here. Looking for the play. Bjergsen will not get stunned, walks far enough away to be all right. And it means that eventually that Jhin and Bard will have to walk back down to the bottom lane.
Should be fine. They'll lose a little bit, but at the same time, it's the opportunity cost. If they can get that binding, they have a lot of follow-up CC. You know, the Jhin route, the W from Viktor would probably have been first blood, and the bot wave is going to push towards them eventually, so they can pick up that farm as it does arrive.
It's interesting that C9 haven't gone for really the Rift Herald play. You see how far up this top lane is pushed. Impact could walk down pretty easily, and with the dual lane of TSM down to that bot lane, it would almost be uncontestable, but again, neither team really playing for that buff right now. You're seeing Impact in a battle with Hauntzer, does get rooted up, some decent damage. But level 5 Trundle losing quite a lot of his health.
He does. Thankfully for him, the wave is slowly pushing towards him. It will be working out. If that was in a freeze to get pushed out, that is really bad news. Not as big a deal in the current situation. And, you know, Meteos has been kind of power farming. That's somewhat of the trade-off that they're making for this. You know, he was up 29 to 18 CS. He's up still 9 on Svenskeren, and he's going to be looking to kind of power farm and perhaps get something done in the mid lane. As you can see him around that Raptor pit, potentially going to go over and look for Bjergsen. But Bjergsen is already rotating down bot lane.
Yeah, 4 to the bot side, playing for the red buff at the very least, but maybe a bit more, as here comes Svenskeren, level 5. Gets the stun up on Bunny. Fufuu, who jumps over the wall to run away, but Biofrost gets the root, and here comes Bjergsen, but he's still trying to run, won't get away. First blood comes through to DoubleLift. No worries about physical damage here. TSM off a great start here. Teleport by Hauntzer, not quite needed, but it will mean some damage in this turret. DoubleLift stops the recall. But look at the damage they're going to get just for a lane freeze from Impact.
Nice job by TSM rotating down, getting that first blood, but I have to say, Bunny should have just flashed backwards. He had no business, you know, magical journeying up into their jungle with no vision there. Really should have just gone straight back towards his base. I think a quick flash back towards the base would have got him out of here, and we can see the play once again. Pretty telegraphed, as here comes the Gragas, the TP's coming in, tries to run up, but if at this point you just flash backwards, I think at least you get the flash from Biofrost to maybe try to continue and get that chain, but was hoping Bjergsen wasn't going to be there, was hoping he would be able to get away, and unfortunately loses the flash, loses first blood.
And now it's DoubleLift with a very substantial lead in this match. If you look at the AD carries, he's up 2 longswords, he's up 9 minion kills, and we have a level 4 too long probably as well. Left goes over to Bjergsen without any real difficulties, plus the fact that he's got that Ocean Drake still. And gotta feel good to be TSM right now. 500 their gold lead right now, and looks like they have completely recouped the gold they lost from playing for that Drake earlier on.
Credit to Bjergsen too. You know, he makes the roam still up a little bit in the CS, so he's being proactive and still staying very relevant. They're looking, you know, potentially trying to get something done here to Impact. He wants to clear out the wave and should be fine.
Yeah, gonna take some damage, takes the empowered Q poke as well, but yeah, he'll survive at least. No one right now around him, but there's no vision coverage for C9 to know where anyone else could be. They see Azir recalling, but they don't see much else. Hauntzer are going to walk into a brush and sees, well, there's a Meteos around. Also Bunny Fufuu looking for a bit of damage. A flash to fall out of the Jhin ulti. How good can Hauntzer dodge? So far, he's gotten away from 3 bullets. Can't get away from the 4th. A flash pillar into the root, into the kill coming through. Not sure if Impact was quite needed, but they do get that kill picked up. Hauntzer is dead, but no summoners available. Now Jensen running away from Svenskeren, but there are more teammates around. A nice knockback coming in, but damage back out of Bjergsen. The flash hit, but the heal is too much. That kill's not going to happen for Jensen. Bjerg survives the whole thing. And a kill for TSM.
C9 gets the kill, but massive commitment there. A lot of summoners blown, and they are going to probably lose top lane turret for this. DoubleLift has had a lot of alone time, so not only will he get the turret, he's denying a ton of CS. So in the end, TSM comes out pretty heavily ahead, especially with that kill onto Jensen.
Really nicely done. It will be a trade in turret's Impact. Actually, once again, been donated solo gold. So C9 really trying to funnel resources into him, thinking that he can beat up Hauntzer. And, well, Swain without a flash is pretty much meat under a pillar as long as someone else shows up for the damage. So maybe that'll work out for him.
Here is the face check once again here from Hauntzer, but great job by him dodging out so many of these alt charges from Sneaky, and it really means they have to commit hugely to it. Impact flashes over, lands the pillar. They're going to get the kill, but at the same time, Jensen very far up, was trying to get some deep vision here, and although Meteos does react with the ultimate, beautiful ult there from Svenskeren, knocks in Jensen, and he's going to get cleaned up. Tried to get the kill onto Bjergsen, but Bjergsen still had the heal. He didn't have the ultimate. Was hoping to maybe surprise them.
Yeah, he had ulted Bjergsen earlier. It's part of why he was up there, is Bjergsen was like running away from a Chaos Storm. But as we mentioned, not quite enough done, and TSM on a 1,000 gold lead here. Turrets are equal, but the next Drake is live and it's Cloud here. I know people don't seem to like it, but too bad that Drake is on the map, and we'll see how much they can get out of this. DoubleLift pretty close to his Youmuu's Ghostblade. Sneaky actually in the kind of same position right now as far as item spikes are concerned, so they'll do similar damage.
The call, nice pickup for a DoubleLift though. When he does pop that, he's going to have a good chunk of gold, has the longsword, has boots on top. He is up quite a bit of CS and has a kill to his name, so DoubleLift is going to be pretty powerful if they do ever have to kind of match up.
So definitely some concern for the C9 squad right here. It's kind of been the case that for both teams, the early game has led into a victory. And right now it is TSM who are winning the early game here. 2 Drakes, really uncontestable at this point. And they can keep running around the map. They can stay on the map longer. They get to places sooner. And they can keep playing that sort of rotation game and getting these really successful dives off on people.
This one not looking nearly as bad as the first game, though, for C9. They're going to move actually up to the Rift Herald finally, and probably will be able to take this away pretty quickly. It's getting pinged out. They want to check it. We're going to see if Svenskeren can do anything here.
There with the ward. He does have his ultimate and more, but Viktor has the inside track. Yeah, it's a 3 versus 1. But now Swain has come in, and now the battle in. Svenskeren trying to keep him inside the pit. A fair bit of damage to the Impact, but look at that pillar. Now locking up Hauntzer. Dodged around. Now the Chaos Storm is in. Impact losing a lot of health, and now Bjergsen forced to flash away from the Bard ulti. But Jhin's going to land the root. He's going to land a bit more damage as well. Will it be enough? One more hit will do it, and yes, Jensen gets the kill. Now Sneaky flashing away from Biofrost root. A bit of a gravity well is going to stop them out, and yes, that will be a kill picked up for C9. They bait in the fight. All 10 members had arrived, and C9 won for 0.
What a crazy fight.
Yeah.
All from starting off that Rift Herald. In the end, it's a 1 for 0. A lot of summoners blown on both sides. Very hectic, but good job by C9 making the best of that situation. And they still have a lot of time to pick up this Rift Herald if they do ever want to go back to it.
Man, they might get to 7 minutes to go, so that's going to despawn roughly. You're going to see Rek'Sai back on the map. Meteos looking for more to do, and he's going to get his red buff without too much difficulty. But to talk about what TSM are doing with their lanes, despite the fact that turrets are equal and kills are equal, TSM are up 1,000 gold. Hauntzer has more, DoubleLift has more, and Bjergsen has more.
This is going to be a nice freeze perhaps for Impact, though. Never mind.
Just kidding.
He does want to just shove it out and have the ability to move around. They're pinging over to the Rift Herald, so may want to move right back to it. And pushing out the waves does kind of hint towards that. So we'll see. TSM sending their bot lane over to this side of the map, though, and it does make it pretty problematic as far as taking the Rift Herald goes.
Definitely going to be the case, yeah. The AD carry and support are there. It's going to make it hard. Sneaky and Meteos looking for a play on a Biofrost. Root's going to land. That could be the kill, but he's, yep, there's the flash knockup. Biofrost flashes to run. Summoner heal as well from DoubleLift, and he's going to push away Meteos enough to keep his support alive. That is 2 summoners burned by TSM
here
for that
Trundle.
play. And here comes Trundle, the pillar there, but they don't really want to follow it up, it looks like. Just a play for the red buff. Svenskeren going to try to steal it back. They haven't put it into the brush. It's going to be a smite fight. And the ult to make it happen. Svenskeren does get his red buff.
Very surprised C9 didn't commit, actually. With Biofrost having to base, no summoners on him. Their top laners are already in position.
Right.
They decided to not make the call.
No, they didn't go for it, but now Sven and Meteos in a battle up at the top side. Both of them level, actually only 8 for Meteos, 9 for Sven, despite the farm difference. And ooh, Bunny, I think, actually got the big Krug himself. I saw the 80 gold over him or Meteos. I couldn't quite tell which, but nice to take that one away. If it's done, not going to land. Biofrost looking a little bit aggressively. Yeah, they're chasing him with the Cloud Drake as well. And here comes a flank teleport. Look at the damage on a Sneak. He can't go anywhere. A perfect culling and a nice body slam to round it out. And now Hauntzer is in to land a little bit more crowd control. Can he find the next route? Can he find Bunny Fufuu or maybe Meteos? They are running away. Hauntzer has enough mana to make this happen. There's the Q, and there's the ulti in for Bunny. Fufuu actually catches on to 2 of them, still running away for his life. Biofrost can't land it, and Bunny gets away just barely, but it's still 1 for 0 TSM.
Great ult by Bunny, mitigating the losses there. We have Impact pushing in the bot lane. He's trying to shove this in, trying to get some damage in on this turret. We'll see if TSM wants to go for the Rift Herald, but they get themselves a kill on Sneaky, and it only costs them a TP.
It does mean some farm over for Impact with that teleport being down. In fact, the wave crashes into the turret to do so, but Impact never wanted to join. And look, TSM getting even more out of this. Now 2,000 is the gold lead there. You got to feel pretty good. Svenskeren making some great plays in this one. And maybe looking for a bit more as Sneaky could be the target they want. Looks like it's not going to be the case.
Feels like a tough game for Jhin with a lot of the backline access, from the Gragas, from Hauntzer kind of running in, getting on top of him, getting in his face. We'll see how he's going to be able to play around that going forward. Already down 30 CS or so, well 25 to the Lucian, down 2 kills as well. He's going to be hurting in this matchup, and yeah. I think he's going to have to play very, very carefully to avoid getting picked off.
Well, part of that's being the utility AD carry. He's got plenty of long-range tools to try to stay back and just let Jensen and Impact carry all the damage output. And he has the possibility, but you're right, it's still hard to team fight as Jhin in this kind of a game. It's not like the Aurelia is being crushed in lane or anything, right? Like, there's definitely some tools here. Impact, once again, forced to run away, but he has the sense to know what's happening. Hauntzer and Sven spend some time, but don't get anything done. Biofrost coming down as well. A pillar to reveal. He sees that Karma's there, but it's still the chance to get the kill. Gonna get the shield into the root. Impact flashes, still gets landed, and it gets the explosive cast right back in. There's 4 there for TSM, and Impact, despite seeing it coming, is not gonna get away anyway. Bot lane tier 2 will go down, and TSM seemingly can do no wrong.
He knows it's coming, but reacts so late, gets caught. Not only is he going to lose the summoner, he's going to lose the turrets, and he's going to lose the wave. And C9 late to react once again. This is like a repeat of game 1. They're just going to lose the inhib turret.
Yeah, and Hip taking a lot of damage. The turret's going to be going down pretty rapidly. It's only a 5v4 anyway. Bjergsen is going to be there. Bartlety kited away pretty well. Hauntzer, only one who gets really landed on, and yep, the turret does go down. TSM yet again finding some really nice plays. Mountain Drake is up for them to take as well. And even though Impact is alive and has teleport, I don't know if C9 has the vision to kind of check in like this. Maybe they can do something for this, and actually looks like it's going to be a couple of recalls. Hauntzer going back to base without teleport up. And TSM just trying to rush it down anyway. Theoretically, it's a 5v4 for C9, but they will not get in.
No, they're not even going to check it. They're just making the call to give it up, or not even aware that it's being taken, perhaps. And this is very similar to game 1 as far as the objectives are going. You know, C9 making the late recalls, lose the inhibitor turret, 3 dragons to 0.
Yep.
It's a tough spot to put yourself in.
It really is, and C9 almost running out of options in a certain way.
So here we do have this, and Impact had spotted it out, but it was really wanting to stay away and kind of grab that farm as it did crash in the turret. The nice route from Biofrost, able to stay right up with him, and a good follow-up ult from Svenskeren does net that kill, and 2 turrets off the back of it. So 4 turrets to 2 for TSM, and they are really starting to kind of extend the leads in this game.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. So TSM feeling great in this one, 4,000 the lead, and we'll see what's next for them, because really it's just they're the team with the lead, they're the team doing everything right. And C9, they have made a few nice plays. We've seen Sneaky and Bunny really having their way with some of the matchups. They've got 100% kill participation between the 2 of them. Just not quite enough from C9. TSM, 3 Lucian games in a row for DoubleLift, doing just fine himself. And now, trying to kite away. He's getting caught out a little bit. This pick gets rooted up as well. This could be enough damage. Yes, it is, finally. C9 finding something to do there. The root again, Sneaky, keeping himself as a major factor in C9's potential comeback.
This is what C9 needs to do. It was a fantastic route from Sneaky and great follow-up. They catch DoubleLift, they take him out. They need to continue to make these sort of picks, catch TSM out of place and really look to capitalize on any mistake that TSM will make to inch their way back into the game.
And maybe they can do it, but it's still going to be a bit of a long road ahead. 3,000 gold, definitely not insignificant. No Rift Herald will be picked up. C9 had tried a couple of times, but just never really had the opportunity as TSM answered it. So they will not get that buff onto Impact. You will not be able to do all kinds of crazy things. And we're seeing that Hauntzer picking Swain into that Trundle is working out pretty well. He's plus 20 CS. He's got that kill. So far, so good for pretty much everyone on TSM, honestly.
I think a lot of that is to do with how well TSM is playing around Hauntzer. They get the push going, and then every time the wave's about to crash, they all rotate down, they push Impact off, or they kill him. And it makes it so tough. Even if he does have a good matchup, if he does not have the vision, if he does not have the support from his team, it's irrelevant.
Looks like Sneak was able to prevent the blue buff steal. He gets it. Still not the ideal champion. Jensen would be the one to want it. Bunny, oh, a great explosive cast, but it's not enough. He gets right back through the portal. Looks like he was inside the wall the first time when it hit him around, so he just kind of sort of glitched back to the front of it. Now he's there, but Sven's still around, looks for the play. He has Body Slam and Flash available, so he can start up a fight if he wants to, but maybe he better afford that he can chew a layer of crowd control. He goes down yet again. That does mean an outer turret that was picked up for TSM, so the question is, what can C9 do with the temporary man advantage? Because TSM did get more gold for that whole play.
Impact blew the TP, but did cancel, and TSM is making a rotation, so Impact has to be careful that he does not get caught out here, and I think he actually is going to. He's very far up, but...
Trinket Ward sees Hauntzer, but there's more people coming down this side of the map, and Bjergsen is already pushed in the mid lane, and no one's around to really help him. There is no backup for Impact. He's in a 1 versus 3 flashes, but the culling is on, and Devil's doing a fair bit of damage. Now Exhaust is on. He's going to get not away from the root, so he's going to get just completely CC'd up. DoubleLift absorbs all the damage he needs to. Impact will not take him out. And again, Impact just in the wrong place at the wrong time, not respecting the TSM rotations, and all of his deaths have been for that reason.
Really bad by Impact, honestly. The fact that he knows that it's coming, he sees the rotations being made, he always seems to suspect it, he knows what's happening, but he's not respecting it. He thinks he can just get out of a bad situation, and once again, Summoner blown, dies anyway, too far up, you know, canceled the TP and then did not respect the rotation, so pretty big mistake. And this is not something that C9 can afford from this position. You can kind of tell that Impact has not had the kind of game he wants just by his build. He has pieces of a number of different things. He wanted to get that Ravenous Hydra and the Spirit Visage to really smash Hauntzer in this 1v1, but it didn't happen. He's not able to get that matchup. He's falling behind, and he realizes DoubleLift is too much of a problem. He needs to build armor now. He needs to be able to survive against the Lucian.
Yep, individual gold-wise, 500 behind Hauntzer right now.
Yeah.
The extra global gold and farm certainly helping him a little bit here, going towards the Frozen Heart himself, so Impact can survive what Double is doing toward him. 2 full completed items now for the Lucian, though. The Youmuu's Ghost Blade of the Black Cleaver going to make him pretty much as power spiked as Lucian really gets here with the build.
He's almost 2,000 gold up on Sneaky, so
wow.
Very big deal there with that 2 completed items. And a lot of global gold has been, you know, gifted over to him because it's 5 turrets to 2. They have all those kills on DoubleLift as well. Although Sneaky has been involved in a lot, he's doing well farm-wise. He's not picking up the kills. He's not getting the advantage of the global gold.
And maybe Cena knocks down these trinket wards, and despite the sweeper really not doing the auto attacks to him to kill him, and okay, they got the pink ward. They're going to knock him down anyway, so at least they denied some of the vision back, and TSM can't push the top side anymore, but they're still trying to play the rotation games. They're recouping their resources from the Ocean Drake. They're running around faster thanks to the Cloud, and they've got, well, the turret killing power thanks to Mountain. So really, TSM just, they have the rotation Drakes, basically, right? They have the ones where you poke at someone and run away and do something else. And Biting Liquor with the play gets the ulti onto 2. Maybe this is the fight they go for. Meteos in the front line, goes for the knockup onto Biofrost, but he's now getting attacked as the Soul Tank. Now Impact runs in for Svenskeren, who knocks them around, and now Meteos is forced to run, takes another slow, and now Hauntzer flashing over, goes for the kill, and they're going to pick him off. Meteos has been shut down. Kill going to Bjergsen.
They had the engage, but they engage onto the tank. It's a Cinderhulk Gragas. This guy's very, very tanky. TSM responds. Meteos, once again, flashing into enemy territory there. Kind of similar to the mistake that Bunny Fufuu had very early in the game. And it means that there's almost no way that he's going to escape. TSM chases him down, tries to use the burrow, not going to be effective, and they go straight over to the dragon.
And now, sad for TSM, Ocean Drake not the best anymore. This one, look at the steal, not going to happen. Oh, no! He got it anyway. An early smite by Svenskeren means the laser comes through, and Jensen gets his team some bonus regeneration. Well, that's unlucky for TSM. It's even worse than it would have been.
Yeah.
Like, you might not want Ocean Drake, but don't give them one.
Still 5,000 gold ahead.
Yeah.
TSM looking strong, and Meteos, a lot of kills on him this game, but he's that supportive, tanky jungler. Here we have the initiation once more. The pillar to set it up. Bunny Fufuu flash ult sketches too, and they're not really able to get a lot of damage in. There's a pop-up onto Biofrost. Svenskeren, once again, a lot of the damage being soaked up by him. He just gets right in front, makes C9 go onto him. The 4 members are dumping damage into him, but he's retreating towards his teammates, and Meteos is cut off, has nowhere to go.
And Bunny failed to combo his Q from his ultimate. He lands it, he was in pretty much close range, walked too far back. Q didn't land, didn't even touch a single person after the stun. So, you know, unfortunate things here by C9 as TSM continue to play the control in this game. Over 5,000 their lead here, certainly sizable. And they're looking to maybe smack this game down. Next Drake is going to be mounted. And that'll be nice for them, the best one they can have at this stage of the game. Looking for the take on the blue, and this time around Svenskeren does get it. Smite lands well enough with his W-empowered auto attack and takes that away from the Cloud9 squad. The TSM are the team with more control around the Baron area. There is still a ward inside the pit. They've pinged it, they know about it. Sven will push it away, and they've now created a fog of war on that side of the river.
This is also a situation where Sneaky is not based in actually a long time. So if TSM wants to go for the Baron, and Sneaky has to contest it, he has almost no items, right? This is a very strong Lucian, and this is just a Ghost Blade plus a little bit more on Sneaky, and TSM is actually going to make the call to go for it. They will have to back off. We'll see if they're going to try to fight.
But they're still doing some damage. Svenskeren tanky enough to not really care right now. Biofrost coming around, and now Sven, at half health, he's going to have to sit around and wait and regen, maybe even just recall to do it. And that does give TSM some time. You're hearing the sounds of a saloon, and that means Sneaky is recalling. And he will go back and pick up that finished Maw of Malmortius. So the armor pen, the extra attack damage is there. But you're seeing DoubleLift nearly done to the Bloodthirster already. Just the goal disparity among those two marksmen, or between the two marksmen, I should say, is well, definitely very TSM-sided right now.
It's unfortunate that Meteos did get so many of those kills. Who would have really preferred to have them on people like Jensen, like Sneaky. Sneaky sitting with 4 assists, no kills, not going to really cash out, but he's the one who has to kind of try to carry these fights along with their mid laner.
Yeah, it seems Meteos' tanking assist doesn't mean enough. Yeah, the Spirit Visage is done, that's nice and all, but he's still getting killed off. DoubleLift has enough gold that he can chew through him anyway. Double gets the Rift Scuttle. Svenskeren's going to be happy that that happened because TSM have the vision control around this pretty heavily. And looking for another play on a Meteos who sees them coming around with Tremor Sense, but knows there are 3 TSM members up here now looking for the play on a DoubleLift. He's going to dodge one, but still get knocked up. Couple more snipes will do it, and there's the crit. Sneaky gets a kill, and there's no AD carry for TSM. It's only magic damage. A 2-man out for Buddy Fufuu, and he's going to land the stun on a Hauntzer. It looks like plenty of damage done to him, and he's going to zone use and stay alive. A lot of healing coming through. Explosive Cast to buy some time, and Impact is holding everybody back. Jensen gets a kill off on a Hauntzer. That's 2 picked up, and TSM want more. Magical Journey to find someone else to kill. Can they have that happen?
They want the Baron.
Running away on the south side, yeah. There is a jungler alive, though. Svenskeren has burned his flash, but he has Smite available, and maybe they do catch off the Jensen, who pops his ulti to buy some time. Soldier's drop in only 3 seconds, thanks 6.11.
They're going right back to the Baron, I think. No, they're actually going to decide to call it off, so you have Bunny going for some vision. They don't feel that they can make the play. DoubleLift has already respawned. Nice job extending the fight by Bjergsen, moving around, kiting them out, not giving up more.
But this is so emblematic of what's so difficult for this game for C9. TSM have had control for so long that when you take a clean 2 for 0, you get nothing else out of it.
But still, they get the kills, they get some gold, and they get some time. Great start to it. All 4 ult charges landed there from Sneaky. They take him out, and good follow-up from Bunny. He has the Ignite for Hauntzer. They put the damage down on him, and they're able to clean up another kill here. Svenskeren trying to get out. Bjergsen rotating over, but he's a bit late. Thankfully for him, though, he is not going to get caught. No one else does. They have the speed-ups from Karma. They have the disengage from Azir, and Bjergsen even utilizing his turret in the mid lane to kind of kite to safety.
Interesting seeing Sneaky's actually doing Berserker's Greaves to give himself the extra damage, ultimately, that it gives. It's kind of a very damage-focused build. I don't know, I just haven't seen a lot of Berserker Greaves on Jhin, so I found that interesting here. Same item for DoubleLift, going towards, again, Bloodthirster. Hasn't completed it just yet, though. Still waiting for the rest of the gold.
Some pretty important buys for C9. Jensen now has the Void Staff, the Rylai's, the perfect Hex Core. He's going to be very powerful. We have the 2 items on Sneaky. We have the completed Frozen Heart as well onto Impact. And they're going to start up the Baron. I do not think there's any way they're going to commit, though.
Yeah. Bjergsen was back in base, but he was running back fast enough. There's really no chance to stop him. Sadly, Pillar on the wrong side, and Impact does not find any easy targets. Bunny running away, scared of Svenskeren. Certainly must give him some respect here.
Tense moment in the game.
TSM get mid-turret for this. Look at that. They just completely controlled that avenue. There's the minion wave already. And C9 going to come in from the side through a choke, looking for a bit of damage there. And an Impact on the front side pops the ulti on towards that Gragas. But nothing really gained. TSM already knocked down the turret. They walked away cleanly. And you saw the little attempt at a Baron bait backfires for C9. TSM took mid control. They have the turret for it.
Certainly does, but looks like C9 may just move up towards Baron again. And TSM can do the same thing. Once again, they can push mid. They're already taking Baron, or not, rather the Dragon. So another Mountain Drake for TSM. That is 4 dragons to 1. Very, very nice for them. Next one will be Elder, which will be extremely important.
Yeah, already 20% bonus damage to objectives. TSM would shred Baron Nashor if they ever got a chance to hit it right there. Little Pillar to buy some time. TSM going to get pushed off of this wave, and Lightning will keep that one alive. Azael pointed out that the bottom lane is pushing in from TSM, and that's going to mean minions that Impact or Meteos maybe wants to grab.
There is no TP for Impact, so Meteos would have to be the one to do it. Has his ultimate available, but they may just be giving up that farm, and that's kind of one of the positions that you sometimes put yourselves in when you're behind. You have to make these sacrifices. You have to make the hard calls, which can inevitably extend the disadvantage.
Absolutely. So there's the Rek'Sai farm alarm, and it's going to be her going to the top side of the map. So yeah, that huge wave in the bot side. By the way, there's no turret there. That inhibitor could actually maybe just die to the minion wave itself. Meteos actually getting caught out with this one. The root's going to come in a nice flash, and they're just chaining the CC. Meteos will die for that. TSM have probably an easy Baron right now. I can't see C9 stopping this. They will try. But I don't think it's going to matter. The shield, Hauntzer doesn't even take any damage right now. Impact on the front side, a fair bit of damage and a nice Bard ulti. Hauntzer actually losing a lot of his health bar. Baron still doing some damage. A stun's going to land. Biofrost low. Hauntzer nearly dies to Deathfire touch, but he does kite away. And it looks like I was wrong. C9 defending the 4v5 pretty cleanly.
The inhib though, it's in trouble. The bot lane inhib, they know this. So TSM goes right back to the Baron, and I think that the bot lane inhib is actually just going to go down to these minions unless they can answer it very quickly.
He is back in base. He's going to burn his teleport to come right back in to maybe make this fight happen. Sven's going to get rooted up. He's going to get bursted down. They're going to try to kill him off, but Sneaky caught out on the left-hand side. It's a trade kill. The jungler is dead, but so is C9's AD carry, but that should mean no chance for the Baron anymore. Yes, the inhib does fall. It just means a larger wave of minions now for C9 to deal with, but at least the Baron will be a respite for a minute now, with Svenskeren forced to die and forced to respawn.
So tough for C9 there. Meteos makes the call, wants to ult back to the Baron instead of taking out that wave, and ends up getting caught, ends up checking it, but they didn't have the vision, so they had to make the check, and it ends up costing them pretty hugely. You know, TSM doesn't get the Baron, so that's nice for C9, but at the same time, giving up that inhib to just minions is pretty brutal. And here comes that 4v5 once again. Sneaky, you know, over on the left, makes the move in, and here comes the TP. They're trying to get as much damage down as possible. Svenskeren gets caught. That's the end for him. Big CC chain does mean he's going to go down. Sneaky, though, getting dogpiled on the left side, goes down as well. Same time, inhib dies to minions.
Oh, TSM with more advantages than 4 Drakes, a bottom inhibitor that the AD carry is holding right now. That's not the best solution, really. Impact's teleport is down. Meteos does have the ulti, but getting more from the Rek'Sai is not exactly your ideal recipient. Sneaky actually quite low level for an AD carry.
It feels so hard for C9 to actually hold this Baron at this point. Double Earth Dragon is going to mean they're going to kill it so fast, and they have no TP on their top laner to answer the bot wave. You will have to send someone who can actually do some real damage to clean this up, and at the same time, Meteos is also the guy you kind of need near Baron to poke away with the Qs, to use the Tremor Sense, to make sure they're not doing it. So who answers this?
Right, exactly. Rek'Sai is kind of immune to sweepers. That Tremor Sense is a huge range. You can see what TSM's up to. Not going to be the case there. Quick route onto the Rift Scuttle, and once again, TSM control that, and they are just making sure that C9 cannot outplay them for this.
All TSM has to do is just hang around. Either C9 engages or they lose Nexus turrets. And if they base, they're probably going to lose the Baron, so this is going to have to be the call. They need to make a decision very quickly.
They play for it right now as soon as someone would have had to answer the bot lane, and look at the damage up, but on Baron Nashor, 5,000 health left on that one. TSM will peel back. Bjergsen at half health. The Bard ulti only hits Baron, but TSM already peeled off. Meteos in the front line taking plenty of punishment. Down below half, jumps over the wall, but Hauntzer's right there, and Swain says, hello, I want to kill. But now you see Jensen doing some damage to the top side. Getting hit up by Baron, knocked around. He's still inside the Baron pit, taking plenty of damage. Looks for the kill on Double, but Double gets him instead. It's a 1-for-0 to TSM. No Hauntzer in the front side, doing so much damage to Sneaky. He's forced to cut away on this Jhin. Meteos will ulti back into the base to run away. Impact caught by the root. Sneaky can only do so much damage. And so far, C9 have lost one, but now looking for the snipe, looking for maybe Bjergsen, maybe Hauntzer. Stun's going to land thanks to the pillar. The snipe lands, the kill off Svenskeren actually. He goes down, but Buddy can't get away. The root's going to land, and that's Bjergsen getting another kill for himself. So now it's a 3 versus 4 all said and done, but Rek'Sai is inside the base, so it's a 2 versus 4 actually. But there's really no tank for TSM. They're killing it kind of slowly. Impact looking for the play though. On to Sneaky this time around. They have shut down the Bjergsen. Biofrost is next, but he's going to survive just barely. But it's Impact looking for a bit more to do, running away for his life, but he will drop to DoubleLift. A nice double for him. 62,000 gold for TSM. They come out ahead.
They come up way ahead. C9 doesn't give up the Baron, but they are just bleeding gold. Down 7,000 now. They lost the Nexus turret there too, to that super minion wave, and they're somehow holding on. Impressive at the very least that they haven't given Baron, and they're fighting and fighting. And these disadvantageous fights because they do not have the vision. They're always ceding the vision to the Baron pit, and they're having to face check, and Meteos is starting these fights off with almost no health.
Yeah, it's really rough for poor Meteos, who started the game 3-0 and just kind of is getting deaths in a row. You're seeing the gold on the jungler just hasn't meant quite enough. DoubleLift now finished Bloodthirster, finished Phantom Dancer, 4 completed items on TSM's AD carry, 7 and 2 for him. He's been
Back to the Baron.
a rock of consistent damage. And yes, TSM know they can keep playing the Baron bait and keep cutting away. Bartlety once again burned to hit Baron and not much else. Bunny Fufuu could really use these in team fights actually to stop the damage output.
It's actually pretty lucky that TSM backed off there for C9. They were kind of just saying, hey, we're coming in, get out of there. But actually, you know, Impact was in base, C9 Sneaky was in base. They didn't have anyone there to actually contest, and this could be a free Elder Drake. They're going to go for Baron, they're going to trade.
A bit of a trade right here. This is going to be very tight because, of course, there are wards for TSM, and Svenskeren coming across the map. He's trying to stop this. TSM will take the Elder Dragon. It shouldn't even be hard for them, and now the team is coming in to stop C9 at Baron, but can they do it? Svenskeren not going to get stunned, actually. Here comes the teleport in. 1,000 health left on Baron. Smite used early by Sven, which should mean it goes to Meteos, and there's the first kill, though. It's already the Jhin dead. Jensen's going to be next, burning down the death, and Hauntzer gets him 2 for 0 so far. Meteos going to be next up easily. Popped across the wall. They've caught Impact as well. This is surely going to be the game. A triple kill already. Make that a 4th now picked up for DoubleLift, and now Bunny Fufuu just running for his life. It's not going to matter. An ace for TSM off the back of the Elder Dragon. They will take down the series. They will be still undefeated in matches, and there are so few tests left for TSM to pass until they are definitively the best team in North America.
They lose the Baron, they get the Elder, and they get the game. TSM coming up huge. Cloud9 makes the desperation call. It's not going to pay off, and TSM close it out.
Well, a worthy match to be our match of the week, absolutely. Big smiles on DoubleLift's face as well as the rest of TSM. What a deserved victory here. Both these teams showing us quite a lot. C9 did pick up a game win, but well, unlucky, I suppose some would say. TSM definitely the better team today, and better team for, I think, probably most of the summer split at this point.
Certainly hard to argue against that. TSM has looked fantastic. The C9, they put themselves at a deficit pretty early in this game. They did a good job hanging around, but TSM was so tenacious around the Baron, forcing them to check in non-stop, holding the vision, playing so well around the objectives, and very impressive, very clean win here for TSM. It was a close one, though.
It was.
Like, those first 2 games.
I mean, the most one-sided game this series was actually the Cloud9 win, where they smashed in 26 minutes or something. You saw a couple of hugs on there. It was Bunny, Fufuu, and Hauntzer, former teammates on Gravity. And you also saw, I guess, Bjergsen and Meteos hugging for their own reasons. But it's nice to see some of that camaraderie. Impact, yeah, he's been on your screen. He is not happy with how that series went. He, again, had been feeling like he might have been a liability some of the times. In their win, he was certainly anything but that, but definitely some big miscues in the games they lost. And it's unfortunate. Cloud9 kind of, I guess, trying to fit a better hole in the top lane, you know, replace balls with Impact. You know, we had the memes at Worlds, you know, last time around, oh, you know, haha, Diamond 2, etc. But Impact, unfortunately, just has not quite lived up to his own very large shoes, honestly. He's not quite filled them with the same caliber, and you know, that's a bit unfortunate. I'm sure there's other things that could have gone better as well, but C9 just not a good enough team today.
I think that Impact, he did very well. You know, we talked about in the second game. This last game is so tough for him, though. He not only did he not really get a lot of help from the team, TSM played really well around that matchup, but he did, when you're in those situations where you're constantly getting forced off minion waves, the dive is always being threatened, you get greedy sometimes to pick up the extra minions. You're like, finally, I can actually get some farm. And a couple of times he stayed out too long. He even smelled the rotations coming. He stayed around. He gave up not only his life, but his summers, which puts him even more in a hole. And TSM played very well around it.
Yeah.
A lot of respect.
Absolutely got to agree. TSM, an amazing team, 5-0 in best of 3 so far in the North American LCS. They've only dropped 2 games individually, 10-2 their game record. What a great team. But after that series went the distance, we knew we had to